Coming up, the Guardians and Red Sox dominate in shutout wins. This is Locked On Game to Game, MLB.
Every game, every team, every angle. Locked On Game to Game, your team every day.
Welcome in. You're listening to Locked On Game to Game MLB. Local experts join us to recap all of the games for you from yesterday across Major League Baseball. I'm your host, Kainani Stevens. Thank you for making Locked On your first listen every single weekday. The Nationals led wire to wire against the Cubs yesterday, fending off every run Chicago made on offense. The Locked On hosts with both teams join us for more after the game.
The Nationals beat the Cubs of a score of 5-7. Ryan Clary from Locked On Nationals here. As Mackenzie Gore got the start tonight. He didn't look amazing, but he also didn't look that bad, because if you look at his box score, you'd look, 5 earned runs tonight, multiple home runs. His ERA is up to a 4.59, but really, he truly wasn't that bad. He went multiple innings of there, getting 3 up, 3 down. And honestly, Mackenzie Gore didn't have his A game, but he found a way to chug through. Didn't really let the flood leak all the way through. And this Nationals team just found a way to get a win. But it came down to Keibert Ruiz going 3 for 3 tonight in that monstrous home run shot. Keibert Ruiz is kind of someone that we need to see just a little bit more of, as we've always talked about here on Locked On Nationals. But the Nationals came in. They got the win. Game 1 in Wrigley. It's always a good one. I'll talk about it more tomorrow on Locked On Nationals.
The Cubs are going to be sellers in 2023 for the 3rd straight season as they drop to the Nationals. They are now 1-4 this year against the Nationals. Heartbreaker 7-5. Drew Smyly pitched much better than the box score suggests, but some unlucky hits, a cheap home run into the basket really kind of doomed him in. And the Cubs had opportunities. They chipped away. 2-run homers from Happ and Wisdom made it a game, but they couldn't get the big one, and they found a way to lose. They needed to really start this second half 3-1 at least, and they're 1-3. So they're now 8.5 games back of the first place Brewers, and a very disappointing season in progress for the Cubs, and we're going to have to see what they do at the deadline.
The Guardians dominated in Pittsburgh on Monday with an 11-run shutout on the Pirates, and our Locked On Guardians host recaps things after the big win.
What a difference a day makes, right? Coming off the sweep, things were looking pretty dark, especially as Quinn Prester had a perfect game through 3 innings. And then the bats became thunderous. One of the best offensive performances of the year. 11-0. Buried the lead there. Again, I'll say 11-0 was this victory. Multiple home runs, multiple extra base hits. I think we had 3 home runs and 7 extra base hits, maybe 8. Every starter got a hit except for David Fry in this one. It was the offensive explosion we've been waiting for. It just turns out you need a slumping Pittsburgh Pirates to help you get there. Fantastic game all around. Bullpen game. Xavier Curry. It's been really one of the positive stories of this year with the way he has pitched for a guy who was not even promised a role on this team. He was ticketed to start the year in AAA if not for injuries. Comes out, gives you 3 innings as a starter. Fantastic day. Fantastic win. 11-0 for the Cleveland Guardians over the Pittsburgh Pirates.
The Cardinals opened up their series with the Marlins with a victory, beating Miami at home to start the week. Locked On Cardinals joins us with the recap.
Nolan Arenado leads the way as the Cardinals drop the Marlins 6-4. Hey, it's JD from Locked On Cardinals, and the Cardinals offense has been their best weapon since day one. And recently, the guys have been swinging some pretty hot sticks, and that carried over into Monday's matchup against the Marlins, where the team pounded out 11 more hits. They were able to extend their at-bats and chase starter Jesus Luzardo after just 4 innings due to his elevated pitch count, and they pull away by plating 3 in the 6th inning off reliever Dylan Floro. Arenado had the big night, going 2 for 3 with 4 driven in, including a 2-out, 2-run double off Floro. Nato now has 68 runs driven in on the season, which is 2nd overall in the National League. The Cards may be selling at the trade deadline, but they're still showing some fight, winning 6 out of their last 8. For the latest updates and info, be sure to keep it Locked On Cardinals.
Coming up, Shohei Ohtani hits another home run, and the Angels get a win. This is Locked On Game to Game, MLB. Today's edition of Locked On Game to Game is brought to you by Gametime. If you're trying to get tickets last minute to your favorite shows or games, it should not be expensive and it should not be difficult to do. The Gametime Guaranteed is for you. If you find tickets in the same section and row for less somewhere else, Gametime will credit you 110% of the difference. So download the Gametime app. You can create an account and use our code LOCKEDONMLB. You will get $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code LOCKEDONMLB for $20 off. Download Gametime today. It's last-minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. Welcome back. You're listening to Locked On Game to Game MLB. I'm your host, Kainani Stevens. Angels fans got a treat against the Yankees yesterday. They got to see Shohei Ohtani hit a home run, and they got to see a walk-off win. Locked On hosts with both teams have the details after things went final in LA.
Every game matters from here on out, and the Angels got a game on Monday night against the New York Yankees. Hey, everybody, it's Mike Frisch, one half of Locked On Angels. Angels win 4-3, and this game was not good for the heart or for the anxiety. They were down 3-1 in the seventh inning, and Shohei Ohtani hits a 2-run home run, flips his bat. It was like this. It was awesome, and it was a moment that we will always remember, just kind of seared in our minds. And he tied the game at 3, and then the Yankees and the Angels battled in the 8th inning and the 9th inning, and then finally in the 10th inning, Michael Stefanik hits a game-winning RBI single. Chad Wallach scores. He was at second base to start the inning, and the Angels once again get a victory, 4-3. Something happened in this game that I loved with Griffin Canning, and we're going to talk about that on Locked On Angels. I hope you'll join us.
There is a theme surrounding the Yankees. It's something that they're doing lately that's not good. Blowing games. That's what it is, blowing games. I'm Stacey Gautsoulias of Locked On Yankees, and for the second day in a row, a starter goes 6 innings, gives up a run, pitches well enough to win, and then his bullpen blows it. Monday night's victim was Luis Severino. That's right, that Luis Severino. He finally has a good start. He goes 6 innings, only gives up 1 run, and then Michael King ruins it for him by giving up a game-tying home run to Shohei Ohtani, which, I mean, it's Shohei Ohtani, but why are you pitching to him? Why are you pitching to him? Hello? What is happening? Anyway, and then the Yankees lose it in the bottom of the 10th because they can't win extra inning games anymore. They started the year 5-2, and now they're 5-8 in extra inning games. It's going well. We're going to have everything you need to know about this game on the next Locked On Yankees, including Oswald Peraza and his pretty good performance. At least there was something positive.
The Mariners got a 1-run win over the Twins on Monday, tagging 5 runs on All-Star pitcher Sonny Gray in the process. Locked On Twins has more after the loss.
The Twins have a problem, and it's a Byron Buxton problem. They lose 7-6 to the Mariners on Monday. Buxton goes 0 for 4. Big strikeout in the 9th on a fastball down the middle, and his season average is down to $1.96. Post July 4th, Buxton is 4 for 35. That's a $1.14 average, and his season OPS has dropped from 763 to 694. That's hard to do at this time of year. The Twins' rally, though, came up short because of Buxton's strikeout, and there may not be a new injury. There may not be one specific thing bothering him, but they need to move him down in the order or outright get him out of there. Edouard Julien can DH. When Jorge Polanco comes back is when the decision will absolutely have to be made. But in the meantime, the Twins need to move Buxton down. Now, here's the stat you won't hear anywhere else. This was just the 8th time a Twins pitcher took a loss and threw at least 100 pitches. 4 times it's been Pablo Lopez. Twice it's been Sonny Gray. Once Joe Ryan and once Louis Varland. This is Locked On Twins.
That's it for this edition of Locked On Game to Game MLB. As always, we thank you for making Locked On your first listen every single weekday. Make sure you're subscribed to Locked On MLB and your favorite team's Locked On podcast on YouTube and wherever else you get your podcasts from, especially now that we're in the second half of the MLB season. I'm your host, Kainani Stevens. This has been Locked On Game to Game.